Good morning and welcome to the Good Builder podcast. Today, I'm joined by someone I've had the privilege of getting to know over the past few months and weeks, and he plays in a very interesting space. And to me, that says he's a long game thinker, which I think is pretty cool. He's the founder of a new site called modularsales.com.au, which we're going to talk about today. But he's also a long-standing owner of ECP Constructions, which is a business that spent more than a decade delivering these modular buildings at a huge level. We'll talk about that as well. I just had a chat with Kyle before the podcast about what he does in that space, and it's really interesting. And one of the things that I just saw him do is he delivered about 16 modular homes in 8 weeks, which was really interesting, I think, for the industry. I think the modular is the future of building. And what impresses me most is he's not having a look at what the industry is at today. And we need more people like this. He is looking at what the industry needs and what it needs to be in the future. So this conversation is going to be a very cool one. And I am so pumped to introduce to the studio Kyle from modularsales.com.au. How are you, mate?
Very good, thank you. You are very good at that, aren't you? You pump it up. I feel like it's going to get an applause for a second.
Oh, mate, you should, Kyle, mate. I mean, like what you've done, mate. And I remember we sat down, Nobby's Beach with you. I sat down at Nobby's Beach with you and I'm like, nobody's touching this space.
Yeah.
And I love the space. I love your thinking.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's definitely growing a lot. But thank you for that. I think I was actually thinking on the way up here, like I feel good sitting here talking to you. So I've been listening to a lot of your pods and the people you've been talking to, and there's a lot of very, very intelligent and cool people in the industry doing good things. So it's good that you're spreading the word. I like
thanks,
it, mate. That's good.
You're a legend, Carl. Well, mate, I think you're one of them. Like I honestly do.
Nah.
I really do. You're our first for all our community out there, and there's a fair bit of them.
Yeah,
Carl, you're our first in this modular space that we've had here, mate. And I honestly think that it is one of the biggest answers to the problems we're facing today. And so I'd love to sort of hear a bit about, you, where you came from, how'd you got into the game, and what you're thinking about modular. Obviously, some positive thoughts there, mate.
Yeah, cheers. Well, I didn't realize I was the first one, so the pressure's on.
Pressure's on. Let's go, Carl.
No, hopefully I'm, qualified enough to talk about it. But I was 15 years old when I started building what they used to call the dongas back in the day.
Yeah.
So done a day of grade 11, and then much to my mum's not very happiness after she brought all the school books and the uniforms. Started insulating buildings.
Wow.
Yeah, it's changed a lot. It's changed a lot. You know. So what's that? It's gone over 20 years now. I've been doing it, and it was the typical, like I said, the donga. Everything was, tunnel rib cladding. And it was all mainly offices, little office buildings, site sheds, a little bit in the education space. But now it's, you would have seen some of the stuff online now. Like it's really taken off, which is good.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, do you reckon, Kyle, was it just that people weren't thinking outside of the application of these dongas, like you said? Because I remember I went to a public school in Sydney.
Yeah.
We sat in dongas.
That's it.
And I mean, they were comfortable and all that sort of thing. But even back then, I remember there was no talk about these things being livable, applications for the industry.
Yeah. I think maybe back then, maybe, people didn't realize what you can do. I mean, it's essentially a modular building it's no different to a traditional build. Your end product, I should say, is no different.
Yeah.
You can have curves, you can have 2 stories, 3 stories, 4, you can have, it's not your typical box, that people associate it with. I think that probably held it back a little bit.
Yeah.
Just people, I think a broad range of people, not, without the pun, thinking outside the box.
That's the best way to put it. I think so too. Carl.
But like I was saying, it's actually, it's mind blowing now, and it's the way I've wanted it to go, the way the industry is heading. And I really think, I probably don't even need to sit here, talking it up and, pushing it in the right way. Cause it's happening. It's happening.
It is.
It's gone from when I was, when I sort of started, there was probably a handful of in Southeast Queensland, sort of these bigger modular prefab builders. Now there's so many of them, and they're doing such a great job. Like the design, like, they're proper legit building companies, doing a great job, which is good to see, really good to see.
Oh, mate, well, I noticed and noted in the introduction to this pod, mate, I saw that post on your Facebook page about those 16 homes. And if people, I'll put a link below in this podcast. I want people to go and have a look at them. For people who aren't familiar with modular, I know most of your builders, you'll understand it. But when you have a look at the design of them and everything, aesthetically pleasing, beautiful, exactly like you said.
Yeah, and I guess I don't want to, probably overstate, what ECP does and what we do. Like I was saying to you earlier, we're very fortunate. We've sort of found a bit of a sweet spot where we, for lack of a better term, piggyback onto some of the real large modular builders in Australia.
Awesome.
And which has been great. We help them build them in the factory, then go onto site, help them with the full install works. Wow. And it's going really well. And like I said, that they're all doing a great job, a really great job.
And I guess why I brought it up too, Kyle, was that you have experience in this space. And the other cool thing is you're seeing the growth. Because you've got the construction side to you. And then obviously it's why you've started, modularsales.com.au, and to give modular builders a platform to put their product on, designs and things to get it out there to the public. Because that was one of the other things I noticed, which I think is great about what you're doing, is that there is no platform like this, number one. And then number two, exactly what we just said, Carl. I think this platform is going to be great to educate the masses, because they'll be able to see what you can achieve through modular.
Big time, yeah. I guess we, modularsales.com.au, it's only been up about 5 months now. So we're very early stages with it. But that's our main goal is to help the buyer, the consumer, and then also the seller. So we think we can find that spot in the middle where the buyer, we can give them the information that they need. So we're talking with certifiers at the moment, trying to have it linked into the site where people can get the answers they need. And then for the builder, there's probably a bit of I feel like anything new, there's a bit of, a little bit of worry, like a site coming in and everyone's on the one platform then. But I mean, no one's got anything to hide. They're all doing great builds. I think probably a big thing is that the cost side, everyone, if they're next to someone who's this price and they're that price. But I mean, that at the end of the day, people are they're going to find that anyway.
Exactly.
On the internet. But no, we really want to help the industry, and we think we will.
You will. And I know, I'll tell you how you're going to help them, Carl, mate. Like, I'm sorry, mate. I know you started the business, but I love what you do. And I said this before you came on, and we've been talking over a couple of months. And there's a few ways you're going to help these builders, mate. Number one, marketing. We talk about that so much on the Good Builder podcast. Builders, I love you guys out there. Modular builders, I love you too, but you are not good at marketing. You are not good at marketing. And that is why sites like realestate.com exist for your traditional home builder. And that is why every home builder is on realestate.com.
Yeah.
And it's the same with car sales. We talked about car sales.
Yeah.
So what I think you allow modular builders a marketing platform to that. And I actually feel you're paying too, because starting the Good Builder, I got the same thing. We're a bit different. We're similar to you in that, for us to be sustainable and, be a business, obviously I'm asking suppliers to get on with us. What if this supplier's on with that supplier and this supplier's on with that supplier? And I'm like, well, we've got a great audience of builders looking for suppliers. Jump on and put your thing there.
Exactly right. And I mean, similar to what you're doing. I mean, everyone's in the industry trying to do this. Any good builder, modular builder, you should be worried about yourself, not worried about the person next to you.
Yeah. You should be getting as much exposure as you can.
That's it. And honestly, from my experience with them, that they're all doing great.
Absolutely.
All of them are great. But and then going back to your point on, the realestate.com, it's, I think our idea with the website, if someone like, myself didn't start it and who knows the industry, one of these big players they're going to jump on and do it. So, I sort of feel good about it, knowing that my best interest, because I mean, I've got skin in the game too, installing these buildings. So all I want is for it to grow and get better. The website's literally got someone there who who wants that, wants the
Yeah.
best out of the industry and wants everyone to succeed, which I mean, it's doing. It's
Yeah.
doing.
Oh, it's a great website. And I second that. 100% I second that, man. Anytime we've interviewed anyone on the Good Builder podcast or anytime we've seen something good come out of this industry, it comes from the industry.
That's it.
And
Exactly right.
it's not, I'll compare it to software. We've had a few chats with different software platforms, estimating platforms and things. Some of them are just developers from overseas that wouldn't know the first thing about building in Australia.
That's it.
And they're trying to flog this product to builders, and builders don't know. So some set up with these programs and then they're off because it just doesn't work.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what I love about you, man.
Yeah.
And I think, sorry, I didn't mean to spruik ECP so much, man.
No,
I'm very, but mate, I am so
Yeah.
impressed with what you do there. And that shows
cheers,
the
mate.
builder you are in a way. You understand the industry. You understand what people are looking for. You do it in real life.
Yeah,
When you're not doing it in real life, it's like me. I couldn't start the Good Builder if I didn't try and be a builder and try to be a good builder, you know?
That's it. Yeah. Yeah, you bang on. I mean, how many industry or, businesses have come up and it's an idea in a boardroom or a marketing team or, whatever. Whereas this is literally, we're on the ground. We've been doing it for 20 odd. We're still doing it, and seeing both sides of it. And I guess also, there's no, because we have found that little niche area with just installing them and building them for these clients. It's not like I'm in there trying to promote my own building company, modular company or whatever.
You're not at all.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So we feel very comfortable with its art and excited, really, really excited for it.
Given builders and clients a platform to get some exposure and also to do some research. And I think that's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
for the builders out there too. If you don't build modular, what I would say, check it out anyway, because I've bumped into a few and we had a quick chat about a bloke I know up here in Boardroom. Not particularly a builder, but there are guys out there and builders out there. And I know when I ran Avondale Homes, every time we built one of them big luxury homes, they'd be like, can we have a granny flat?
Yeah, that's it.
And we'd be like, oh,
yeah.
Do we really want to get into building a granny flat when we've got this monstrosity to build? Maybe jump on modularsales.com.au, connect with one of the modular granny flat builders.
Yeah.
Just plonk one on there.
Yeah. And there's plenty out there. And again, doing great things. There's granny flats. You've got container homes now. You've got the education space. You've got, people doing larger developments. There's, I think I'm sure we'll probably get into this, but I think probably one of the things maybe it's lacking the industry at the moment is a little bit more private type companies taking the risk. There's a lot of money getting pumped into modular, but a lot of that is government.
Yeah.
A lot of that is government. So, there's plenty of, you would have heard the MMC, modern methods of construction, which it's been adopted Queensland, New South Wales, I think WA are doing a fair bit now where they're really spending the money on the residential application, but from a private sort of company. I haven't seen a lot of residential builds getting done that way. So yeah, all you developers out there who want to, jump on, it's a great product.
I'm with you. And you know what? I didn't tell you this either, but I'm not sure I can tell you this, but I'm going to anyway. We've been doing a bit of work with James Hardy. You might have been seeing around the socials.
Yeah.
There is this legend there, Dean Anderson, absolute legend. He's the guy that got James Hardy involved with the Good Builder. And guess what he is now, Kyle?
What's that?
He is the general manager of MMC.
Oh, there you go.
James Hardy
really
have a full focus, and this guy's a weapon.
Yeah.
And that, if one of the biggest brands in Australia, that manufactures here in Australia, which we need, is going into modular, and he's pushing hard in that space.
Yeah, they know. And I think that, there's people a lot smarter and in higher places than me in the building construction industry in general, and they're all going down the modular path. That they can see what Australia needs in terms of housing, but you've just got to look at the funding is starting to become easy. You've got CBA now on the that are lending to modular,
100%.
And which is massive for the industry.
Everyone will follow.
That's it, and I think that's probably what has held the residential side of modular back a fair bit. Because your private, your mum and dads, and they were struggling to get the finance. Whereas now and it'll take a little while for that to all come into play. It doesn't you don't just click your fingers and, you got modules lining up, but it's going to make a massive a massive
Very
difference in the
cool,
industry.
Carl. All right. Yeah,
Yeah.
because we ran an article around the CBA one
Yeah,
as
yeah.
we knew another modular builder was involved, like, was spruiking that. So we did a bit of an article. But so is there anyone else, Carl, in that space? Because I honestly haven't followed up. I want to know.
From a finance
Yeah.
side, not at the moment. GBA is the only one that
God
I know of.
damn.
So you can get, I personally haven't applied for it, but you can get like equipment finance. It can come down as a, like a
Piece of
machine,
equipment.
a piece of equipment.
Wow.
That's generally how it was done.
Come on, Banks.
Well, I mean, CBA they've obviously seen the writing on the wall, and good on them. There's changes now to the NCC.
Yeah.
There's just recently, it's actually out for draft and public review at the moment. It's they've just finally come up with an Australian standard for prefab buildings. I mean, you've always had Australian standards for everything, concrete and framing,
and not
disability access, but there's never been an Australian standard for prefab. So they're now, it sort of shows you a little bit, not that we were behind, but it's now catching up. Well, yeah, but the thing is that the wheels of government turn slow and in councils, but to be having the conversation and these things are happening, you know that it's coming. It's coming, which is really good. It's really good.
Yeah, that's so cool. One of the other things I've noticed too, Carl, and we'll get into, we are talking all about modular actually, is that a lot of the look overseas, Sweden, Switzerland. Oh God, I've got to get my stats right on this thing, but I think it was up to around 40% is prefabricated construction.
Yeah,
in some of those European countries, and ours is like 2.
Yeah,
Nothing.
I think we're a little bit higher now. Again, my stats are not great, but I think we're around 17, 18 billion a year. Billion a year in the construction industry. I think the construction it's about 150. So we're sitting just below 5%.
Okay, about 5%.
Yeah, about 5%. Everything's predicted for it to grow
100%.
massively. But going back to your point of overseas, I've been actually very interested in overseas. There's some crazy things they're doing over there. Crazy, full high rises, 650, 700 modules lifted in as high rises. And you mentioned Sweden. I think they're up around 80, 90% of, I think it's only their residential application. I think it's
you're
about
right.
90%.
I was going to say 80%, and I second guessed myself, honestly, Kyle,
It's
because
really
I was
high,
like,
mate.
no, I'm sure you're right. Because I was like, okay, just don't overstate it. I know it's up there, and I reckon it's about 60 to 80 too. I reckon it's somewhere up there, mate. It's massive.
It is in there. I think it's in their residential side of modular, but I mean, there is other things, I guess, in play. There is, you got weather conditions over there a lot different to here.
Yeah, because you can't build 6 months of the year.
I mean, I know if I was in those European countries, I wouldn't want to be at 5, 6 a.m. in the morning, blizzards and snow out on a site. I would rather be in a factory that's warm, controlled environment. You're getting the work done, no weather related. That's it. Exactly right. Yeah.
And that's the other thing I love about the modular space too, Carl. Like, and let's get into your platform very shortly.
Yeah.
What I love about the modular space is it's with precision.
It is.
We've done a lot of research on, up to 10% can be just wastage in a build.
Yeah. That's it.
Like so much more precision. Like you said, while we're not in Sweden and we don't want to be out in blizzard conditions, we've had some pretty harsh conditions here in Southeast Queensland. Like if you look at March, you look at some of those, mate, you're probably building, if you're a normal residential builder, you're probably building a week in that month.
That's it, yeah. And pulling your hair out too.
Yeah, killing yourself.
Yeah, whereas, obviously when the factory environment, you're building, not 90% of the build is done inside that factory. Yeah, the weather element is definitely a little bit easier to deal with. But and like you said, precision. I mean, it's obviously a lot easier it's a more controlled environment.
Yeah.
You've got when everyone's in the one place, all your subbies are there, all your trades are there, all your materials are coming to one place. You're not pushed out over, all these different areas. It's obviously where the idea or the preconceived idea of speed, quality and, the financial side of things, that's where it comes from. And it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. And I think it's also true for customers.
Yeah.
Very true for customers.
Yeah.
When you can go and I think one of the things that Modular does, and I love residential building, as you know, like the traditional side of it, I've been involved in it for years and years and years. But the thing I love about it for clients is that, you know what you're going to pay.
That's it.
You know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
You know what you're going to pay.
Yeah, exactly right.
It's going to look like it looks.
Yeah.
It's very interesting modular in that space as well because the customer expectation is really met. And so I think you're going to have a lot less. Tell me if I'm wrong, actually, please, Kyle.
Yeah.
I think there's about 70% of apartments have major defects.
Yeah.
That's bad.
It
I'm
is.
not
It is, mate.
real big on apartment builders and
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think they do, there's some interesting builders out there and developers do some really dodgy work and
Yeah.
give the
Yeah.
construction industry a bad name. I reckon we get a lot of our bad name from apartment defects
Yeah.
and problems that those types of builders do. And then you've got, residential building, and I think it's about 25, 30%. What is it sorry.
Modular,
Yeah.
mate, a lot better than that. A lot better than that. And I mean, it probably, we do have to be careful because I think modular is now getting more of a name and the industry is growing. We've got to be careful that it doesn't become like apartment buildings and all of a sudden they're just getting banged out the door. Yeah. I think the companies we've been lucky enough to sort of piggyback off, they've got so many things in place with quality and control and ITPs and all these things that it's a lot easier to do in one place, rather than 50 different sites all over the place. But no, I think it's getting done. I think it's getting done well. Another one is, I think safety as well is a big one because
Good one.
you're sort of in the middle of commercial and residential. You're not so lax. You would know, like it's getting better.
Yeah.
But residential sites can be a little bit lax sometimes
100%.
on the safety.
Yep.
The big commercial sites, maybe a little bit too far where you're doing 400 bits of paperwork to tie your shoes. So I feel like at the moment, and I hope it stays modulars in that sweet spot of we're bringing in both sides of it. It's very safe. It's very safe, which I like. It's good for the industry.
Yeah, mate, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
And we saw the tragedy that happened in Brisbane in West End last week.
Yeah.
15-year-old boy and a 45-year-old dad or something like that.
It's just
like all of that stuff, all of this stuff that Modular is doing is the control on the health and safety, the control on the precision. It just seems like a really not easy solution, but a very straightforward solution for us to focus on.
It is
as a country.
And I think once you're around that side of safety and quality, it becomes second nature.
Yeah,
So I've we've started doing a few little residential standard builds, and when I'm there a little bit, and I don't know, you just see things. I'm like, you shouldn't do that, but I guess it's second nature to the guys doing it. Whereas if you're in that environment, all of a sudden everyone is wearing safety glasses. Everyone is, you're just doing the right thing.
Yeah. No, I get it, mate. I've been hanging around roofers on residential, doing a lot, mate, and I think I nearly died a few times myself.
Yeah, that's it. And I mean, it's not worth it. We all just want to do our job, and go home. So.
Yeah, cool. Well, mate, I think we have fleshed out why modular is pretty cool.
It's cool,
and I think it's fucking cool.
Yeah, love it,
mate. Tell me a little bit about your platform, modularsales.com. So what is it? How do builders get involved? How do customers get involved? I must say that, and I've never said this on the podcast, but you know what's really interesting about the Good Builder is we're getting a few clients listen to us and a few, like through the website, we've got a few people going, oh, you build modular? Like, can you build me this? And we're like, we're not builders. So do you build passive homes? And we're like, we're not builders. Yeah. So we're getting a few clients. So how does it work? Tell it for the builder side, tell it for the client side.
Yeah, I'd love to. It's
how they get involved.
Yeah, so like I said earlier, we've only been online for about 5 months now. I think we've got over 100 listings, and some from some big builders in Australia, some little guys. From a builder's perspective, or a seller, we would call them, we just want to make it easy for them. You can go into the Google realm and you're there with 50 other, builders and all trying to get to that top spot, or
and they never will.
Well, that's it. Or you can go on a platform where people can literally say, hey, I want a 3-bedroom apartment in this area for this amount of money, and there you are. So if you fit their criteria, it's coming up right in their face, rather than them having to sift through
or try to find you.
That's it. So I think for the builders and the sellers, we just want to make life easy for them. You know, from a marketing side.
Yeah.
And I think the site will become the place where people that's where they know to go.
Well, I'll tell all the modular builders out there one thing, and I've got a lot of experience in this space, and I'll put $1 million on it. for this podcast. I'll put $1 million on this. I don't have $1 million, but I'll put $1 million on this and I'll find it if I'm wrong. You will be the #1 premier site in modular building very shortly.
Yeah.
And do you know the reason why, Kyle?
Why's that?
Because Google and all the search engines, right? When they're looking, it's why realestate.com.au is #1 when you're looking for houses for sale or in a particular suburb. It's about the information. So Google's like a library, right?
Yeah.
And it's the librarian. And you go up to the librarian and you go, hey, Miss Librarian, I want to find a book on modular sales. And all she does, or he, I shouldn't make it a sex.
Yeah.
Or
either other.
It does.
Yeah.
Is grab the book with the most information around modular, like so someone's looking for modular homes for sale.
Yeah.
It'll grab the book with the most good information about modular homes for sale, including prices and all that stuff, the most comprehensive information.
Yeah.
You're going to have that 100%, just like realestate.com, because any builder out there, any real estate agent out there, you can't beat realestate.com because they have everyone consolidated on the site.
That's it.
And the other thing is, where you won't beat modularsales.com. I'm really sorry. And I know I'm lecturing now, but the other reason why you won't is just because of your name as well, like the modular sales part, the URL part, all that sort of thing. You're going to have a wealth of information. It's just going to be the #1 destination.
Appreciate that. And like I said, we really hope that is the case. And we want it to be, I guess, going back to your earlier question, from a buyer's perspective, what we're going to do there. It is early days, but we want to make it very easy for people. We're going to plan on having, a little search thing where you can say, this is my block of land, this is what I want to do, and it can give you the information because it is very hard for someone buying at the moment to find that information. There's difference with councils, there's different with the rules. So that's the plan. Trying to make it easy.
Yeah. Oh, there is one other reason why you're going to be #1. There is one other reason, guys, and that $1 million is still up, right? The other reason is that, so when I was at GJ Gardner Homes, I did this really interesting piece of research, Kyle. What we did was I think we went through 500 people that were in the market to find a home. And we got them in a room and I watched them through one-way glass. Creepy. Oh, man. It was cool. Creepy. What we did was we went, find the home design for you. Let's see what you do.
Yeah.
Every single one, #1, went to realestate.com.au or domain first because they're all there. And guess what else they did after that? They opened up 10 or 12 tabs and they compared 10 or 12 different builders. You're going to be compared anyway.
Yeah, that's it.
This is the thing. Going to be compared anyway. So open up 10 or 12 tabs. So my whole mission was like, how do you generate the most trust on the realestate.com.au platform and on our website? So that when we are compared, they're just going to take you. That is your job.
Yeah.
Not to worry about, is there a platform being made?
And I think the good thing about us is we're impartial. We're to, this builder or this builder, like that doesn't mean we're giving the guys who are doing one modular home a voice and a platform, or the guys doing 10,000, there's no, and that's what
it's a playing field.
It is exactly right. I'm really hoping it does. I guess there's probably been a bit of, I think more in the tiny homes, it was always a bit niche and, people probably a little bit want to hold their cards for the chest. But I mean, for a good thing, the secret's out. It's a good product. It's a good thing. So why not let people see you?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that $1 million's on it, mate. You watch.
Yeah, well, mate, we've definitely been putting the money out, making the websites are not cheap.
Oh, no, they're not, mate. No, I told you I was involved in them. And I was involved in a lot of different spaces in consolidating websites, almost like, not similar to what you did, but like bringing product into a central thing and doing it. And every time we did it, it worked. And beyond that, I know that's not the premise of what you're trying to do. You're trying to educate the industry and provide a really good platform for people, but just the pure logic and how, unfortunately, the internet works and unfortunately how us as consumers work.
Yeah.
We want convenience.
That's it.
Like if I'm going to Kmart to go and buy a wooden spoon, I'm not just going to a wooden spoon store. I'm going to Kmart because I can see everything.
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean? Because it's convenient for me. Bunnings.
Exactly right. And I guess probably just to add on to that a little bit, I actually seen your website have done something similar lately. We actually just started on the site, a thing called Mod Connect.
Oh, yeah.
So what we plan on doing is we're going to have other people, not just the builders in the industry. We're talking the guys who do the building installers, the guys who do the fabrication, the guys who do the transport, the guys who do the craneage. Because a lot of times people going to these sites and then they're getting a bit stuck. Oh, how do I transport? How do I do that? And it's not completely connected yet, the factory site side. So hopefully we can, not only, I guess, help the potential buyer out a little bit by they can see other people in the industry, but then people like that having more chance for work as well.
Oh, I love it. That's so cool. Yeah. Oh, it very much sounds a bit like the good builder for the modular community.
Yeah. Well, that's
all the
it.
information there.
Yeah.
You've already got some good articles up on there around modular building and that. You've got all these designs. You're then going to put this connect thing in.
Yeah. It's about helping. About helping. Yeah.
I'm a million safe, man.
Yeah. Well, hopefully.
It will be. It will be.
Thank you.
I'm sure of it, mate. It's going to be amazing. Now, with the so how do they get involved with modular safes? So there's modular builders out. We know a few. Steve Nasala, Ollie Holmes, jump on there, mate.
Yeah, Ollie Holmes is on there.
Oh,
Ollie Holmes is on there. Yeah.
Oh,
there's a few of them.
I love you, Steve. I'm going to bring you on, Steve.
There's a few of them that I'm so grateful for that have jumped on early in the piece too.
Ollie are massive.
They took a few of them. We got Fleetwood, Atco, some of these real big companies that it took a bit of a not a punt, but
they know.
Yeah, they know, and they've sort of. But we really appreciate because it's a bit of a flow-on effect. You see another reputable modular builder, then of course you're going to want to put your stuff there too.
Yeah.
It's really easy, really easy. You literally go on, become a seller, register. The site is so easy.
Yeah.
And we're really happy actually with the way it's all sort of the site's been created, and it's simple is good.
Awesome.
Simple is good. Yeah.
This is actually a really interesting one, Kyle. Mate, what do you think needs to change in our current industry for modular to be more widely accepted and to scale more nationally?
Yeah, well, I think it's already happening. To be honest, I think it's happening. In I guess the government that side of it, and the finance that side of it, that they were big contributors. That it's happening. Like I said, the wheels turn slow, but they're turning. The only other one, again, what I mentioned before previously, was probably a bit more private faith in the industry. You could have you see these big development sites where they're building, hundreds of homes on them, which Australia needs. There's a massive crisis.
Yeah.
You need a few of these guys to jump on board with it and realize that they can be building their houses in a factory whilst all their groundworks are getting done. All the, all your lead-ins, all your electrical, all your plumbing, all this stuff is happening while the houses are already getting built. So you're cutting down the time massively. Yeah. So I think, I guess to answer it simply, probably just a bit of faith from those guys.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I mean, the government's obviously jumping on. There's a lot of social housing getting done now.
Yeah.
They've got targets to hit. They've realized that, to hit these targets, that this is a very good, a very good way to do it.
Absolutely. I don't know if you saw it actually, Kyle, because it was just before we sort of met and started chatting, but I put up a video. My daughter was up in Cairns doing a rep basketball tournament, and we're driving along the highway, I remember seeing these modular buildings getting craned up.
Yeah.
I pulled over. There's a video on LinkedIn. There's a video on our YouTube, and I pull up. And I just started filming myself, and I got kicked out of sight first. Which was fine. It's a commercial site. I think I was in my Crocs.
Yeah.
Anyway, I walked over, but there was this lovely bloke I talked to. I said, "What are you doing?" And he goes, and he was awesome. He's like, "Man, you're a bit curious." And I said, "Oh yeah." He wouldn't know who the good builder was at all.
Yeah.
And but I tried to explain, and I said, "Look, I'm just really curious about building." And he said to me, "Man, we're doing 1,000 modular apartments, and we'll probably do them in about 3 months."
Yeah.
And I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "See all those?" And he looked around. There was these, they didn't look like dongas. They were things that you buildings, massive, and they were just bang on top of each other. It was phenomenal. and the product was beautiful. And he gave me a quick look and then kicked me off.
Yeah.
He was from Gympie. He was the sign rapper from Gympie that did all the signage around there. I told him from the sunny coast. And so I think I got able in because he related to me.
Yeah.
And my desperation to have a look.
Yeah.
But they were phenomenal, mate. And he
Yeah.
said it was all government stuff, all social sort of stuff.
That's it.
And he was just like, and I was like, why don't we do this? I'm not saying all around Australia. It can't be 100%, but there has to be a larger proportion of it in order to achieve what we need to achieve.
Yeah. And I think probably people probably have pretty strong opinions sometimes on modular and what it has to be and what it has not to be. The thing is, it can have a place and be all of it. You can still have the little niche container home guys. You can have the little, the smaller guys just building a few, but you can also have mass numbers of houses, which, like it or not, it's what we need in the country. That's a whole, obviously, another story about how we got there and whatever, but we need houses.
Yeah.
So it can be both sides of it.
Yeah.
And like I was saying earlier, it's cool seeing it come into residential. Our sort of would you say career, I guess, has been mainly in the a lot in the education space, and the mining and all that. So it's really, really cool to see it. Yeah, finally, sort of getting a bit of a where it should be in the residential area.
Yeah. Well, mate, I think it's definitely going to become more mainstream as we go along. One thing that I would love to do, and I don't know if you know one out there, is there a modular display home around?
Yeah, there's a few of them doing it now.
Really?
Yeah. Well,
I'm going to go down the video on them just to show what they
different
can do.
builders on the Gold Coast. There's a few of them now that have them sitting there. But it's funny you say that. I've been thinking a lot about that. I think sooner or later you will be able to, as a first home buyer, or as you just want to get your house built, you will be able to go in and pick your house. You'll be able to see it. It'll get that built up, the modular, and we'll have not stockpiles, but stock of homes sitting there, and you'll be able to go in and it's already built, ready to go. And you go, that's the one. I love this. And then, 4 weeks, 5 weeks later, it's getting craned in, like I feel that's where it'll go.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I absolutely, mate. And that is why when I introduced you, and you said during this podcast that there's guys out there a lot smarter than you. I don't think there is.
Oh, there definitely is. There definitely is.
You're pretty smart, mate. And I think you're a very smart dude.
Thank you.
They may be intelligent on a overarching weird level. I think if you're talking about the future, like when I met you, mate, and what you're doing, I was like, this guy is deep in the future of construction. And you're like, you can see it. You're a futurist. You want to make things better. You can see what we need to do. And as I said, you're the first guy that we've got sitting on this couch doing it. And we have been hammering out articles and things like that, because I do too see it as a solution, a massive solution. Not the only, but a massive solution to what we're trying to achieve. And on not just housing numbers, but to get people into homes that they can afford. And I think that's the equation that we need to fix too. I think that's a big part of the equation.
Big time, yeah. Yeah, well, hopefully coming on here, there's a few modular builders or people in the industry that, hopefully they come on, because, there's a wealth of knowledge out there with it. So, having a platform like this to talk about it, it's only going to grow the industry. So it's great.
Well, mate, thank you so much, Kyle, for the interview and chat today, mate. That was absolutely fantastic. As I said, guys, if you're a modular builder out there, or you're a builder, but if you're a modular builder, get on modularsales.com.au, register as a seller. If you're a builder and you build and you're looking for a granny flat, why don't you go buy a granny flat or modular building from modularsales.com.au. And if you're a client and you're looking for a modular home or a modular designer builder, go to modularsales.com.au.
Yeah,
mate,
thank you very much.
No, absolutely love what you do. And the other thing I love about what you do is that, like, meeting you, you're just like a lovely regular bloke, and you're taking on the big boys like the realestate.com.au.
Yeah.
You're not taking
them on.
You're in a different lane.
That's it.
But like me, we did at the Good Builder, man, like I went, like, we're not competing with news.com.au, but I'm like, I'm going to start a media company around the positivity and the thing. And like you've gone, all right, this is what I freaking energizes me about the Good Builder, is when I get to meet people like you, mums and dads and people in the industry that just invest their money to make the industry better.
Yeah.
So I want everyone to come and support modularsales.com.
Yeah,
whatever you can, go and just check out the site. If you're not going to get one, just get some traffic. Have a look.
Yeah, no, thank you, man. And it's like, I look at you and I know it's coming from a good plot, what you're doing. And that's what makes the difference. So it's No, it's great. I really appreciate it.
You're a legend.
Good chat.
Thank you, Kyle.
Sweet. Thank you, mate.